So let's look at bokeh, which is over here, and we'll use a bar graph. Should be high-level charts, bar and dot charts. Yeah, that's right. So bokeh needs the data in a certain format, which is, as you can see here, you have the categories, which are for the variables. It's this stuff over here, and you have the data with multiple blocks, which is, I guess, 2007 would be here, and we would have the values for 2007 here, and this would be 2011, and the values for 2011. So we need to build a data dictionary with the years and the values, and a list of categories, which are these, and sort of get that all together into a graphable form. So we have to write a function for that. We'll go define a function, make some, make it out of variable info and the time series data. Yeah, so we have a function that gets the variable info and the time series data and puts out something that we can feed into the chart. So it puts out something that's useful. So first we need we aren't always going to have the years available to us. So it's 2007 and 2011 for this time, but maybe they'll add a year, or it'll be a different data set where the years are different. So we actually have to find out what they are for every chart that we make. So first, let's find out what the years are. So we have the years, and the years are again when we get the data, which is this time series stuff. We'll just take that. We'll go every year. Data. Actually, no, the time series, as we can see, the time series is a series of data points in the years in there. So we have for every data point, we want the year out of that point. Duplicates, so we put them in a set. Yeah, that should work. Now we just return the year, and we try it out. Make chartable. With tenure, okay. We have tenure in here. That's our info, and we have the data and tenure data. So we do make chartable. Okay, and it gives us the correct number of years. That's great. We also need the categories, which are up here. So we need a list of them, or maybe actually a dictionary. Yeah, let's do a dictionary. Categories are category label, for every our variable info categories. And we want that as a dictionary. So we'll try that. If you're used to other programming languages, you'll be surprised at this, but Python can actually return multiple values at once. So we'll try this out. Okay, so we have the categories with their IDs. So now we need to build up the categories are easy. So we have, if you go to Bokeh, we see we have the categories which are the category labels in a list. So we say, okay, we want the categories these are the keys. The labels are the keys. And the values are the IDs. So we say, okay, we want those as a list. Let's try it out. Okay, these are the category labels. And then we need the shape of the data. So for every year, we have the values ordered by the categories. So actually, yeah, let's just do that. We can go. We want. Let's just an empty dictionary, and we go for every year. Years, which is our set of years up there. Here. We add a year to the data, which is and that should be a list of categories. So we put an empty list and then fill it after some time. So this would be 2007 and this would be 2011. Actually, those are strings. So these are numbers. So let's just put strings in there. So let's see what we get. Data. Just do an empty line there, maybe here too. The function isn't over until you put something down here, so you can leave empty lines in the function without breaking, the indentation, the block. Okay, that seems to have worked. Yeah, so we have a category list, which is like this one, and then we have a dictionary of years with lists, where we need to add the stuff for the categories. So we go for every actually maybe we should just build that up by itself. We go, okay, first we have a number of values. So actually what we're going to do is we're going to build this up one by one. So we say, okay, we have the values that we need. We need values in here. This starts off as an empty list. Okay. And then we say, all right, for every category name, our cat do the following. We go over the data and find the value that fits. So we are going to use the search again like we did up here. So first we sort of build up our query. So we say, okay, for every point in if that point has the right year. It's got it was we need to have a look at 10-year data again. Hang on. So we have value, and these map to category value. There's also a little snag in that these are floating point numbers, and these are integer numbers without, the decimal point. So that they're not exactly equal. So we have to check for that. So if the is like the, so is that the ID or the value? Category label, category value. Okay, I need value here. So let's just so we have this query, and we want the weighted frequency. That a little more nicely. Yeah, that's better. So find us the next point that fits. Give us nothing if we can't find a point. So that's what we put in to the list. And then at the end, when we've built up this list, so we have an empty list here, and this builds it up. It goes through the categories in order. And for every category, it finds the right value from this stuff and puts it in that list. And when it's built up, we just tag it onto to our data box. So I hope this works. No, not really. Time series. Data time series should work. Hang on. So it says data doesn't have time series as a key, which I do think it should. Hang on. Maybe the data's gone. No, it's still there. Time series. No, that's there. Oh, yeah, okay. No, hang on, it's called data. It's also called data. Oh, yeah, yeah. I have another thing called data here, and that's overwriting it. We don't want that. So we'll call the new one result data. So let's try that. Can't put list, why not? Is it add? No. Okay, so let's see. What does list have? List. Add. Oh, okay. Oh, I get it. Yeah. All right. We just do values equals values. And then we oh, so I had the wrong command after all. Okay. So look at that. Append. It's append. Sorry. Oh, geez. Okay. So the problem here is that sometimes the point doesn't have a value. So I can't always say, give me the integer number of this, because I can't make an integer number of nothing. So we have to see what we can match up here. So we say, okay, maybe we will compare by, hang on, do we have categories that are actually missing? No. Okay, so we can say we will only consider points where the value is not, and the other stuff. And there we go. Oh, that was, oh, this should be result data, sorry. And there we finally are. So we have the categories, we have the years with their values, and this is ready to plot. So, it's just a few lines of code really, but sometimes depending on, how the data is shaped, quite a lot of thinking has to go into how you code that. So we have these two things that aren't really immediately usable for graphing stuff. And then we have this other, the stuff together that isn't really optimum. Then we have to write a little bit of code that will give us stuff that we can actually graph. So this puts out the categories and the data stuff. So we'll just put this into other stuff. And then we'll go, fine, let's do a bokeh bar plot, which is called our chart. With the data and the category and title. And what else do we have? Well, let's just have a look at it for now. We go show. Oh yeah, we have to do output node. Instead, when we show charts, it should output them directly to the notebook. So I'll just execute this, and we're done for the future. And there we go. All right, the categories are maybe a bit long to look really good. So maybe let's height. Let's give it 700. Okay, this is better already. And I guess we want a legend for that. So we go legend. It's actually got keywords for that, so we can just set top, for example. And it'll put legend in the top right. And then we have a basic chart that sort of explains all this stuff.
Looking at that chart, what things leap out at you in terms of how people should interpret this? I mean, you were saying down the left-hand side, that means it's a weighted frequency, but it's essentially the number of people who answered that question or with that answer to a question.
I guess it would make more sense if we could compare different countries, or if we could split that up. Actually, we could write a bit of code that lets us compare different countries.